Well, I got it all hooked up. I got my solar panels outside, my portable briefcase style panels hooked up to the cargo trailer. Let me show you how I got this done. I'm going to go over this in a little bit. Let's head outside. But you can see here, it's coming out. This is roughly a 60-foot run to my 2 Harbor Freight Thunderbolt solar panels. Now each of these is rated for 100 watts. There's some clouds in the sky here, so this is an absolute performance test. It's just to show you how I got this hooked up. Now, I got this 100-watt solar panel and this 100-watt solar panel. They're identical. I got these hooked up in series. So you can see the power cable from this panel. Here's my extension cord right here. The red positive is coming to the positive of this panel. And then the negative of that panel is going to the positive of this panel. And then the negative of this panel is going back to the negative of my extension cord. Now, I decided to run my extension cord into 2 parts here. In case, say for example, I happen to have sun up to this point. I don't want to run a really long extension cable. There's a thing called voltage drop. The longer the run, the more voltage your panels is going to produce to your battery bank. So I decided to run one 30-foot extension cable, another 30-foot extension cable here. Got my MC4 connectors right there. And at least coming into the cargo trailer, I have my main hookup. Now what I decided to do, and stay in the tradition, not putting any holes in the side of my cargo trailer camper conversion, is I decided to come through the floor. And I can at least show you here. Let me get underneath. You can see here I drill a hole in the bottom of the floor. And I caulked and painted that. And then I got some brackets here, painted those up too. And this is coming out. That's my main hookup. Now, at least for here, I got some plugs, one for the male and female. And I got this on little fishing lines so I don't lose these caps. And I got this plastic corrugated pipe from Menards, and I got this 10 gauge solar extension cable. I snaked it through that, and I got some heat shrink tape, and I heat shrinked this on. I believe this was a 3/4 pipe, and this heat shrink tape I got from Menards too was 1 1/8 inches, and that comes into the cargo trailer camper conversion here. So at least right now, using the Blue Eddy app, we're getting a little over 160 watts. And this cable comes through here, comes down into this breaker box. I have links in the description box below and all these products, but at least this is a 2-pole plastic breaker box. It did come with a metal bracket on here to clamp the DC breaker. Now this is not an AC breaker. This is a DC breaker. This flips up, and this is the B10. It's a 10 amp breaker. This system should not go over 7 amps, but for some reason if it does, really I don't really need this. I want more of a disconnect than anything. But this is pretty cheap, about 14 bucks, and you could see that this is rated from 12 to 110 volts. And this is 10 amps. And then that power comes through here, the red on the right, the black on the left, or the negative. It comes to my 2 bus bars here. And that at least gets that power up to this point. Now this is where it splits off into 2 different cables. I have this cable here, which is the 14 gauge Blue Eddy charging cable for my smaller EB3A power station. And this more heavy duty 12 gauge wire here, I bought that off of Amazon, and that goes down to my Blue Eddy AC 180, and that is an 8mm plug. And at least right now we're getting 159 watts. Now what's kind of cool about this is the AC 180 has pass-through. I could actually plug the power in here, and Let's see if my refrigerator kicks on here. Oh yeah, probably help if I turn the AC inverter on. All right. All right, so now the refrigerator is on. So refrigerator's on. This AC refrigerator takes about 50 to 60 watts. On average, I see it's about 55. Now, those solar panels is producing 160 watts, and it's passing that power through, free power for me from the sun, and it's powering the refrigerator, and about 100 of that is charging this battery bank. And that's pretty awesome. The Blue Eddy products also comes with an app, so it kind of shows you here, and I can actually go to the EB3A here also, which I use for running DC. So you can see it's coming out with 26 watts. It's powering all the LED lights. I'm actually charging this phone. Those LED lights and charging this phone is taking 26 watts. And I can go back to the AC 180 here. So go back to the AC 180. Now it's showing that 161 watts coming in from the sun, and it's charging the battery bank and passing through 54 watts to get this refrigerator nice and cold. Man, it's already getting chilly in there. So it's pretty awesome. And figured I would at least show you how I got that power from outside inside the camper. Let's grab my voltmeter here and let's check out a few things. So right now at the plug, I'm getting a little over 40 volts, so 40.24. This is at the end of the run. Remember, those solar panels have roughly about 4 feet of cable on them, plus I'm running roughly about a 60-foot extension cord, plus, you know, the length of this cable up to this point. So we're a little over 40 volts.